know this is game week, but I'd be remiss if I didn't ask you if you had any comment on
Probably not, but I'll hear you out.
Bill Belichick banning your scouts from USC.
Oh, no, that's an individual choice, and we'll cross that bridge. When we start looking at players, I want to focus on our football team, and that's their prerogative, to make the decisions that they feel like are best for them, and then we'll have to find other ways to get the information for any players that we want to look at North Carolina.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Got a status report on any of
What do you want to know about out?
Thank you.
Anybody else?
Campbell?
Questionable.
Charles Woods?
If they're probable, yes. But Stacy will give you the official, but that's my stance.
As we get to the end of the week, I'd just love to ask you, just coaching your first game here. I obviously watched you play for all those years.
Yep.
It's going to be like.
I think it's going to be about the players. I think that's the most important thing, is to make it about the players. Mike, I appreciate you asking about me, but I think Jen's excited. I think Carter's excited. So make it about the players. I think that's the most important thing. They put a lot of work in. We ask a lot of them, and then I feel like the games are their opportunity to go play, and I want to make sure that we exemplify that we give them what they need to be ready, but also prepared.
Mike, you lost your last 3 season openers in Tennessee. Any sort of common thread there? Anything that you adjusted for coming into this season?
No, I just got to play better. Missed a field goal. Got boat raced by Arizona. Just play better, take care of the football. Win the second half, things like that. Focused on, but that was. You look at everything, every game, and they, again, you want to win them all, and they just, a couple plays in every game. I don't know who the third one was, but Giants, we missed a field goal. I don't know what else the other one. Saints. Yeah.
16-15.
Close one. Yeah, couldn't stop them at 4 minute. Turnovers in the red zone. I'll do it to you.
Like, is Jared Wilson trending on to start for you at left guard?
Yeah. Yep. Jared will start at left guard.
How happy were you with just his development? Just came in, he missed the spring, and obviously worked hard.
Well, he worked hard and competed, and again, we're going to end up playing different combinations of guys, but then Jared will be there Sunday. Other guys will be ready to go in there. I think the more he plays, the better he'll get and improve and work and figure out the tricks of the trade as it goes along.
What have you seen from him and Will working together as two rookies on that left side?
There's be things that they do really well. There's things that they, again, are seeing, and that's part of playing young guys. And I want them to have fun. I want them to enjoy it and understand that mistakes are going to happen. And we'll just pick it up and we'll move on and get back to center and go play the next play and not worry about being perfect. Just focus on being precise.
Like Josh was here telling us yesterday that he learned something new every day from you. I'm curious, from the coach that you knew before this year, where do you see any kind of changes or growth with him as a coach?
I think he's a great teacher. I think the way that the connection with the players, again, it's a fine line to try to hold guys accountable to what we need to get done, but also having a connection with them. And I've seen that. And right now we're all, I think in a good place. We're undefeated like everybody else, or except for one team. And I appreciate the staff. I want to publicly say that I appreciate the staff, helping me do this, getting us to this point. We don't do any of this by ourselves, and there's a lot of people involved, from the training room, the equipment room, operations, player engagement, each of those departments and then the coaching staff that gets these players ready, and then we'll continue to get them ready throughout the season. And the ones that come in on Tuesday that get signed that end up playing for us, it's just part of the National Football League, and can't thank them enough for being on this journey with me.
Do you expect Alex Austin to fill in for Christian? Or?
Yeah, I mean, I think Alex will play. I think Marcus will play, and everybody's got to be ready to go.
Mike, regarding an early goal that you stated of being good enough to take advantage of bad football,
Yep.
How much closer do you think you guys are?
Another day closer till we get to the games. That's really all that matters, and I don't mean to, make light of the question. We're another day closer to finding out, because, really what happens on Sunday is going to start to dictate, have we gotten it? Have we learned? Do we understand how critical some of these things are? And when the advantages or the opportunities are there, to be able to take advantage of them.
Were there any season openers that you were a part of as a coach or a player where a team came out in something that you just did not expect and had to make significant adjustments to?
I mean, I'm sure in 25 years of this league, I'm sure there has been. I mean, my first game was an 8-hour game that had 2-hour lightning delays in Miami. We lost that one too. The touchdown got called back on a holding penalty, Greg. So there was an 8-hour game in Miami. So they don't really prepare you for that. But we managed. We beat the Texans the next week with a backup quarterback and everything else. So, just whatever they throw at you, we'll be ready. Try to make adjustments as we go. We were buying pizzas on the third deck because the players were hungry in between the lightning delays.
Wide receiver, do you guys prefer to stick with 3 guys most of the time, or you like to mix and match it at receiver?
During the game?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I think everybody will play. That's active. I would imagine everybody's going to play, and everybody's got their package and things that they're doing. So, just making sure that everybody's has a role in the football game.
Mike, when you were doing the telestrator with Scott Zolak, diagramming Trayvion's kickoff return, you noted the ability now to put 3 players off the restraining line. How much have the rule changes this year kind of affected the configuration of personnel? You also noted the 2 running backs back there.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how much that's going to really dictate. I think maybe a little bit, but they still get on you pretty quick. You still have to be able to cover them up. And again, some of the rule changes were for player safety. The off returner was getting peeled, and some of that was just by scheme that guys were putting the off returner on a 5 or one of the 5 screaming down the middle of the field. So I was shocked that there wasn't more injuries if people were running that scheme. So just trying to understand how some of these guys are kicking. They're kicking the kicks that try to land short in between the 20 and the goal line, or are they landing at the goal line and making you make a decision, or are they landing there at the 8 and trying to get a shorter kick? So however they do that, we'll have to adjust to it. And there was a penalty last night. Kicker started in and Philly tried to move, and there's a penalty. So just knowing the rules and understanding the things that we can and can't do.
Going into the stadium for the practice, what's the thought process on that?
We hadn't been in there in a while. Just felt like that'd be a good opportunity for us to get into the stadium again, since we hadn't been in there since the first preseason game.
Mike, I know Chip's running the offense over there. Do you see or expect more, what he ran more last year at Ohio State, new personnel, or do you have a sense that, he's working for Pete Carroll and how Pete wants to run offense is probably what we'll do?
Probably a little bit about, I guess I could guess and guess wrong, and you'd say I was wrong. I think there's going to be a little blend of everything and stuff that he's done and has liked, and the things that the head coach wants to do, and stuff that he did in the NFL that he liked, and stuff that the quarterback liked. So I really don't have a perfect answer for you, because I don't know, unless, something I don't.
Who do you think's gonna have the best game day outfit?
Me? No, I don't know. I'm not much into the walk up, I guess.